You're watching This Day Live. Now, over the years, it's drawn on the talents of some of the country's most distinguished performers. The Talawa Theatre in London is the UK's most prominent black theatre company, and it's seen involvement from a list of notable names, including Don Warrington, Kathy Tyson and the late Norman Beaton. Talawa has built a reputation for staging a wide range of works, whilst showcasing some of the most exciting young theatrical talent in Britain's black and Asian communities. The company's latest show, Soapbox, marks the 20th year of its flagship programme, Tipped. And before we welcome Gail Babb, Talawa's producer for Participation and Learning, let's get a taste of this year's production.
Dear anonymous black man, vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Yes, I know you are all macho and manly, but I need you to be human, and so do you. Nobody likes to be naked on their own when the other one stands there all wrapped up and girded. You show me yours and I'll show you mine. That's how this thing works.
Gail, welcome to the programme. Thanks for coming on.
No problem at all.
Soapbox then, tell us a bit more about that. It looks very interesting.
Yeah, so Soapbox is a brand new piece of theatre that we've been working on for the last 4 weeks. So every year we pull together a group of 18 to 25-year-olds, really talented, dynamic, exciting new theatre makers, and put them in the room with some established practitioners. And over 4 weeks, well, 3 really, they make a piece of theatre from scratch. So Soapbox is this year's show. And it's about words. It's about the things that people want to say, either to the whole world or to, you know, a family member or in private, you know, behind closed doors.
I guess it's like a voice as well, a voice for the young generation. Often they feel that there's silence, they have no outlet to communicate and express themselves. But something like this, a real communicative and creative sort of outlet, isn't it, for them? Yeah,
absolutely. Tipped, which is the name of our programme, just is that. It's about providing the spaces and the platforms for people who have something to say. They might, you know, they might be young people. We often dismiss them, but they have a lot to say and things that we should listen to. So every year we try and provide that platform. And this year our show happens to be about speaking and about words and what words can do.
So it's been going for 20 years or so.
Yes, yeah.
What sort of stuff have you covered over the years?
Oh, we have looked at when it was our 25th anniversary in 2011, we looked at the last sort of 25 years of black British history. So that was 1986 to 2011, and so a lot of the political unrest and the uprisings and all of that sort of stuff. We've looked at what it means to be black, British and young. We've looked at love and at joy, and we've talked about care homes and basically almost everything over the last 20 years, because it's we talk about things that they want to talk about, that the groups want to talk about, so that's quite wide-ranging.
Yeah. You mentioned about how you've got established actors working alongside new, young, emerging talent. How does that work in reality? Is it a challenge?
It can be. I think collaboration is always a challenge. It doesn't matter whether you're at the beginning of your career or at the end of your career. Working with someone that you've never worked before takes some negotiation. It takes some sort of time to figure out who they are and who you are. But we don't give them any time because they've got 4 weeks. So actually there's something about the pressure of having to work quickly that just means that everybody gets along, and hopefully those of us that are more established and that have been working for a longer period of time learn quite a lot from the emerging artists as well.
And what is the journey like for someone who is coming in fresh from having done, or not very much, essentially, to putting on a performance like Soapbox, for example?
Yeah, well, it depends. So you can... Some people come on board as actors. We've got a young writer working with us as well. We've got a young designer. So they can come on in any area of the theatre. Week 1 is just about throwing things up in the air, generating ideas, you know, workshopping things, lots of meetings, lots of discussions. And then very quickly, all of this that we've created suddenly has to be narrowed down over the next 2 weeks. So it's then a really ruthless sort of period of cutting and rehearsing and yeah, just trying to be really objective, trying to make sure that it's tight.
All that within the space of 4 weeks?
Yeah. Really, it's 3 weeks to make the show, to come up with the script, and then we've got a week in the theatre to figure out what the lights do, to learn what it means to speak to the back of the auditorium and all of that sort of stuff.
I mean, it's an incredible sort of like concept when you think about it and you pitch it like that, because a lot of these touring productions, you know, Book of Mormon, for example, loads of others that go around the world, some of the really well-known established theatre, touring theatres and musicals, you know, they take months to work up, don't they? So how, like, obviously I'm not trying to compare yours to that, but how does it compare in the sort of production process?
We have really high production values
Yeah.
at Talawa across the board, and Tipped is no different. So in terms of what it looks like, we're working with some really good professional lighting designers, set designer, movement director, and our director, Christopher Simpson, as well. So we all have high standards.
Yeah.
And so do our emerging theatre makers. We all want it to be really good. So it's not Book of Mormon. We don't have that sort of budget, let's be fair. But it is a good, really well-crafted piece of theatre. It's not a it's not youth theatre.
And the performing arts in general, it sort of had its issues with, you know, arts budget cuts over the years. You know, money and funding is very scarce, isn't it, in this industry? So what are you providing that you think is a you know, a valuable tool for a young person to do?
I think for us, it's about making them really well-rounded theatre practitioners. It's about having someone coming in saying, I want to be an actor, and saying, brilliant, OK, let's give you some skills, let's give you some experience to do that.
Yeah.
But also, have you thought about writing? Oh, OK, so you write in your bedroom all the time. Well, actually, that's interesting. Could that be a career for you? And then giving them some development in that sort of way. Obviously, they are writing things to go into the show, and then hopefully, and our past participants are proof of this, that they go on to be artists and not just actors. So we've got writers, directors, people are running companies that have come through us over the last 20 years. It's great.
Yeah, and I suppose that hands-on experience is so crucial in this industry, isn't it? You need that practical experience. How do the youngsters feel when they go through the course and they learn from the pros and the experienced people there?
I think they love it. They're really challenged by it. They find bits of it quite hard at the time. But you know, I haven't talked to this company yet because we're still in the middle of it.
Sure.
But talking to past year groups, it's challenging, it's intense. They have to work really hard and really fast, and that's a challenge. But it's a challenge that they relish. They wouldn't come to us, they wouldn't come to Tipped if they didn't want to be sort of stretched and pulled and all the rest of that. And what's lovely is that, so I've been doing it for 8 years with Talawa. I've been doing Tipped, and everybody comes back each year. So Tipped 09, for example, will be at tonight's show to support the new lot of Tippters coming through.
Great.
And what's lovely is that as they then leave us and are going on to careers, they collaborate with each other across year groups.
So Soapbox is on at the moment.
It is.
Anything else quickly in the pipeline as well?
Well, it's our 30th year next year, Talawa, so we've got lots of things in the pipeline, some exciting stuff that people will find out about later.
Gail, thank you very much indeed. That's it from us for today. You've been watching This Day Live from me, Gavin Ramshaw, and the rest of the team. See you soon.